We are next to the Berlin Wall in front of Factory, which is another of the Berlin's pearl among co-working places and accelerators. And this place was founded 2011 and should be a playground for all startups, entrepreneurs and people who like to create something interesting. So let's go inside. Lucas, Chief Marketing Officer and one of the Managing Directors of Factory Berlin, is another guest. Actually, we are guests of you here in Factory Berlin. And Factory Berlin is the largest startup campus, and this is the place where real estate startups meet local heroes and international giants, as you say on your website. Could you please better introduce yourself and also Factory Berlin?
Sure. So my name is Lucas and I'm the Chief Marketing Officer here at Factory. And what we do at Factory is we provide a community for innovators. So that means if you're a freelancer, if you're an entrepreneur of an early stage startup, if you're an entrepreneur at a corporation, then we provide platforms where you can work and you can connect with other people and you can grow here. And we do this by providing workspace, such as the co-working space that we're in right now, but also larger team offices. We have a big selection of services that we offer to startups and innovators, so tax and law and marketing, etc. And we connect old economy companies with new economy startups so they can mutually benefit from each other.
So what would be your unfair advantage to compare to other similar projects, maybe co-working places, maybe profile totally different way?
Well, I mean, the one unfair advantage, I don't know, would be that we run quite a bit of office space in Berlin. So just this campus here alone is 12,000 square meters. Then we have another 2,000 square meters in Kreuzberg, and we're going to open an additional 15,000 square meters next year. So we're the largest space of its kind. But the true advantage in that is that it's not just about the size of the space, but it's about the people working here. And so we attract companies like, for example, SoundCloud and Twitter and Uber, but also many early stage companies, so that we have a very exciting mix of companies from different industries and from different stages here working very closely together. And that's why we can provide unique opportunities that probably few other projects can offer like this.
If we can focus on the early stage companies, those are companies which are primarily focusing on, what do you think are the biggest benefits for them or the biggest perks?
Well, the benefits for an early stage company is that as an early stage company, all of these young companies, they face the same difficulties, the same problems, and it's regardless of what industry they're in. So if you're an early stage company, you need office space, and then once you have the office space, you need furniture. Once you have furniture, you need maybe an investor, you need capital. Once you have capital, you need employees. And these are all things that we help early stage companies with. So we offer office space, for example, here in the co-working space, which is furnished. There's also team offices that we offer as a full service solution, so you can just plug and play, go in there, have your office and not have to worry about anything, not waste 2 weeks at IKEA. And we make connections to people that can help you. So if that's a tax advisor that you need, then we offer you contact to that. Same with lawyers, same with marketing or PR agencies, same with investors or employees. So basically we try to create the best kind of environment for an early stage company so that they can focus purely on their product and not worry about everything else, because those are challenges that everybody faces, and we try to solve those challenges that everybody faces for the startups.
And then now we are aware of the benefits, and what are the costs, or what are your monthly plans?
It really differs. So here in the co-working space, for example, it depends on whether you're an early stage startup, whether you're running business or you're a corporation. And if you're an early stage startup, you can rent a desk from 300 euros a month here, but you can also get a simple membership for 50 euros a month, which allows you to go to the events here, use the facilities here, and be part of the community. So the barrier for entry is quite low. And once you grow, of course, then we have different offerings depending on what you need.
Then do you have any success stories you would like to share with us? Some startups that made great impact?
Well, the success stories are always, you know, very closely tied to, they're a little bit bittersweet, because many of the companies that are successful here, they grow out eventually. So for example, we had Six Wunderkinder here, which was one of the very first companies that we had here, and they grew so quickly that soon enough we couldn't offer them any more office space because they got so big, and last year they got acquired by Microsoft. So basically it's a bittersweet feeling for us anytime a startup moves out, because it usually means that they're very successful.
So I guess you've probably seen many startups, the successful ones, the ones that didn't succeed. Do you think there are any patterns you can follow among the successful ones?
Well, I mean, success is really, at the end of the day, just it's the result of determination. So many of the successful startups are not first-time founders. So these are people that started a company before, and they learned from their failures and went on to do better. And I think that is one of the main patterns that you can see. Whereas in many other areas, startups and technology are quickly evolving, and things that worked 5 years ago don't necessarily work today anymore. But there are certain qualities to entrepreneurs that we see over and over again help them succeed. And the biggest of that is absolutely determination and persistence in pursuing your dream.
What are the projects that are working here right now? Do you think it's funny to share stories about them? Do you have some hidden unicorns maybe?
We like to believe so. We have a lot of very exciting companies, especially from an Internet of Things background right now, or hardware background. So in our Kreuzberg location, we have a startup called Relayer that just closed their new investment round with Kleiner Perkins, and they develop sensors that basically enable any kind of dumb device to become a smart device. And they're very exciting, and we think they're going to be one of the new stars of the German economy. And equally exciting, for example, is Zoom. They're producing electric scooters. So basically, a scooter that you could drive around in this building because there is no fumes. And it's kind of like a Tesla for scooters, and that's very exciting.
If you look in the future, where do you think Factory will be in like 5 years?
What we try to do is build a community of the most interesting, smartest, most ambitious innovators and entrepreneurs across Europe. So in a couple of years' time, we strive to have multiple locations all over Berlin, and they will be only in Berlin because we want to focus on this city alone. But we'll also have an international network, and we'll have a network that you can tap into no matter what your need is. We will be able to connect you with exactly the right person, whether that's a new employee, whether that's an investor, whether that's some kind of service provider. We want to get into a position where whatever your need might be, you have the person at hand that can help you.
And to conclude, what would be one word of advice for entrepreneurs in your perspective?
In general, entrepreneurs? First piece of advice is do it, and second piece of advice is keep on doing it. And I mean, what distinguishes an entrepreneur from anyone else is their capability and willingness to take a risk. And this is something, obviously, you always have to take calculated risks. But I would urge everyone that thinks about it to embrace the fact that without risk there can be no growth, and go for it, and don't be demotivated if it doesn't work the first time, because you will learn with every experience, and you'll be tilting the odds in your favor eventually. And so, to come back to the beginning of the interview again, at the end of the day, I do believe that the most important quality that an entrepreneur needs to possess is their determination and persistence, because eventually those are the qualities that will prevail in an environment of much risk and much uncertainty.
Thank you very much, Lucas.
Thank you.
I wish you a lot of luck with Factory Berlin, a lot of luck for Berlin startup community in general.
Cool.
It was very interesting interview. Thank you.
Thank you.